All right.
All right, welcome back to another Livewire. I'm your host, Jared Moore, and Livewire is a program where we take your questions from the chat. On today's show, we have ShaVon Agee. She is the program manager for the Mvskoke Creek Nation Cultural Center and Archives, and we also have John Beaver. He is the curator for the same organization. And we're going to be talking about the Mvskoke Arts Council, which is a new organization. I think that's right, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, we're in the development of it. Yes.
Okay, so thanks for being on the program, by the way. I always say that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having us.
so tell me about the Mvskoke Arts Council. What is it? What's the idea with it?
Well, last year we were picked, or we were one of 7 tribes that were chosen to. It was to start an arts council with the Native Arts and Culture Councils, and it's provided by the Ford Foundation. So they noticed a need within Indian country for the development of arts council. So we were chosen, and so since last summer we've been working with these other tribes on cultural assets, cultural inventories, what tribes are needing in order to start these arts councils. So we've been working on that. We've been going looking at different type of funding and visiting with funding agencies. So there's a small group of us, John and I, and then also Joy Harjo sits on our committee. We also have Jennifer Forrester, Bobby Martin, Leslie Deere, Mark Randolph, and Sarah Price. We're all kind of have a small group just to start the development of the Arts Council.
Okay, and is there going to be? So it's good. I'm going to assume that it's going to expand in the future. You guys are going to bring on more artists or more administration. Like, what's the plan there?
Yeah, that's our plan there. We're like as ShaVon said, we're in the very early beginning stages. So not just through this the cohort project and grant that we're a part of. So it's helped us to get this going. And so we started out with this small core group of people, and really what we're looking for really. Post the completion of this the cohort grant that we're a part of is really to expand to answer your question, to expand out not just the core group that we're working with, but really be in consultation with a number of the Mvskoke artists who are in the community, not just located here within the Mvskoke Nation Reservation, but nationwide as well. So we're looking forward to expand it in that form fashion as well.
Okay, I see. And there's a survey that's associated with this. Is that correct, ShaVon?
Yeah, we just had an artist needs assessment. I believe it went live on Friday. I sent you the link if you can share it afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, and for the audience, I'll put the link to that in there. And this survey is for artists to take the survey to do what? What to be considered to join the Arts Council, or what's the function of the survey there?
It'll help us in the development of the Arts Council, what the needs are that and what we can develop, like the goals and the mission for the Arts Council, but also what the tribe can do to help the artists out there, what they need. I know we've looked at some of the survey responses, and a lot of them is a studio space or workshops. And so that'll help us develop the council, but also let the tribe know what our artists are in need for.
So in the future, what we're looking at with the Arts Council is going to be a place where artists can go to get help and maybe possibly get studio space, or like, how will that work out in the future?
Well, we hopefully have like grant funding opportunities available. So we applied for a grant in, I guess it was October for, well, it's a welcome center, but it would also be areas for our collection, a research area, and classrooms. So we could carry out those workshops in those classrooms. We should know in April or May if we receive it. So I feel like it's a game changer for our artists and our citizens. So fingers crossed that we do receive that.
So that grant would be for the construction of a facility. Where is that right?
Correct. Yeah, we will leverage that with other funds as well, and it would be here in Okmulgee off of Highway 75.
Okay, like close to the complex.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. So we've had a comment in our chat says from T.Y. Pearl. He says grant funding sounds good. So the community likes what you guys are saying.
Yeah. And to follow up with like the granting opportunities, and just like an arts council would operate, or certain things to tribes, or how other sort of organizations can operate, the grant funding could sometimes those are channeled to the organization, and those organizations can use those grant funds to help. So in this instance, artists with their projects, but also the Arts Council might be a way in which the Arts Council can be a way that the artists can also apply for grant funding, or can assist the artists in funding or applying for grant funding for themselves as well, rather than going directly through, say, this Arts Council or the tribe or something like that, that we can perhaps through the Arts Council can provide assistance for that. And perhaps it's also a way we're thinking about the Arts Council as it grows to be sort of a support system for artists. And so these artists can connect. And so that you certainly have there are artists out there who have experience working with either grants for themselves or through organizations receiving grants. And this would be a way for those artists to connect, particularly with the up and coming artists, to sort of mentor them and how that process works.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I don't think people realize is a lot of times all artists, but especially Native artists, are just kind of like out there on their own, and they have to hunt up funding however they can. And if there was some type of organization there that could say, hey, we have some easy stuff that you guys can do right now to get going in that process, would be great. So the Arts Council, what's the timeline for the survey and everything for that compiling to be done? Do you have one on that?
Well, the deadline to complete the survey is, I can't think of the exact date. It's either March 15th or March 20th. We're going to compile all the information from that assessment and present it to the artists. So our Mvskoke Art Market is April 22nd and 23rd. And the morning of the 23rd, we're going to invite all the artists, whether they're Mvskoke artists, whether they're in the market, or they're just artists that didn't participate in the market, to come to a breakfast. We'll let them know of the results, but it'll also be a listening session for us, just to get their feedback from the assessment. And if there's anything that they want to expand on, we'll be there to listen and take notes.
Okay. So speaking of the art market this year, are there going to be any changes? Do you have any like updates on that? Or is it going to be like the standard, like any interesting bits that we could talk about with the art market right now?
Well, we went from 60 entries to 80 this year,
Oh, wow.
60 accepted artists to 80 accepted artists. We are trying to just make the overall experience better, expand on some areas, like we'll have demonstrations. I know cultural preservation will be there to give a presentation in one of the rooms adjacent to it. We'll have Leah McCormick, who is just at New York Fashion Week. She'll be there to tell about her experience, and then also show her handbags that she had there. So then we'll also have some other things set up as well.
Awesome. And it's going to be at the same location?
Yep, at River Spirit, yeah.
Awesome, great. Well, it sounds great. The Arts Council and the Art Market. Is the Arts Council going to have anything to do with the council house or anything like that? Like, is there going to be an interaction there?
That's a good question, and thank you for asking. So we actually haven't considered that yet, but I can't say that there wouldn't be an opportunity for that as the Arts Council project grows and it expands and becomes more formal. So I think that's I think that's probably a yes there.
A good idea, Jared.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Anytime I can get any kudos. So yeah. We've had some comments in the chat, not any questions yet. If you guys are watching this and you have any questions about the Arts Council or the Art Market, now's the time to posit them into the chat. I'll read you guys some of the comments, though, that we've had. T.Y. Pearl says, we should put a certain amount of capital improvements funding towards art in our public works projects, which would be great. He says the art market is awesome. Oklahoma Community Watch says, Mado for all that you guys do.
Thank you.
T.Y. Pro says, we should try to lure Red Earth from OKC. So that sounds like a tall order, but anything's possible. So what else is on the horizon for the Cultural Center and Archives? Do you guys have any big exhibits or big events coming up aside from the art market?
Well, we're pretty much, that's a good question again, but we're pretty much fully focused on right now the art market that's starting to really, I guess, consume most of, as you probably understand, most of our time right now, and certainly in the immediate, and then certainly with the grant post the the Arts Council projects, and we're going to largely be focusing a lot of our attention to that. But we are certainly looking at perhaps making some additions to some of the exhibits here in the council house space, and making some updates here and there, but nothing too extreme right.
And while we're talking about the council house, in case the audience doesn't know, what are the hours that they can go to the council house? The council house is in downtown Okmulgee, and it's. Would you say it's a museum? Would that be fair to say, or?
That would be. I think that would be fair to say. We welcome the visitors here. We, in addition to being sort of a museum, if you will. Where, in addition to being the museum or restored historic building or space, we also kind of like to let them know too that it's also a functioning tribal government building as well, due to the at times the National Council can meet here, or the executive branch might have meetings or conduct business here too. So we're in addition to that, we're a functioning tribal government building as well, and we certainly want to welcome the citizens and also our visitors. So that's kind of a message that we take away from the visitors as well. But our operating hours here in the off season are Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. And then when we enter more the, like would say probably late spring and extending into the latter part of the fall months, which is kind of falls in line with the tourist season, then we will change our operating hours to Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4.
Okay.
Tuesday through Saturday, sorry.
All right, Tuesday through Saturday.
No, we're open 5 days. So,
all right.
So
we've had some questions pop up while we were chatting there. Is there going to be any photography in the art market?
Yeah, we did have a category for photography, and we had several entries for that. So we hope to expand each year. And so last year we had one photographer enter, and she placed third, Morgan Kane. She's Mvskoke. And so now we've received, I think it was like 5 or 6 categories for photography. So we're glad that it's getting out there. We actually, last year we received 71 applications, and this year we received at least 100. Wow. And we have at least 20 coming from out of state. We have Mvskoke, Cherokee, Osage, a couple Choctaw. We have Pueblo, Navajo. They're all over. So we're excited just to welcome to the reservation and River Spirit. We're just trying to reach out to different organizations in Tulsa just to improve the overall experience, so that they can get out and show what we have on our reservation.
Awesome. And we had another question. Will this include film and music?
Not this year, but is definitely, with this being our second year, we weren't sure how to expand on that area, but it will definitely be something that we would like to add maybe next year.
Okay, so it's in the works.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, and we've covered all the questions there. If you guys have any more questions, pop them into the chat related to the art market. Oh, we just had one pop up. It says, would love to see the 1491s do a production of Between Two Knees here on the res. Is making that type of thing happen part of what the Arts Commission can do? It's I think it's the Arts Council, though, right? Is that the terminology? Arts Council?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, I think, a possibility, because we also want to acknowledge artists, our performing artists. We'd like to do that.
Awesome. So, let me think. With last year's arts market, there was a big reception and everything. Is that format going to be followed the same this year, with having the market open where people can go through, and then having a reception with the awards and all of that stuff?
Yeah, it'll follow that same format. So our reception will take place that Friday evening, and just due to the limited space at River Spirit, it's open to the artists and a guest. And so that's who it's reserved for. But then the ballrooms doesn't open until the following Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Okay, great. Well, for anybody that's watching this that wants to keep, updated on this, is there a Facebook page or anything like that you want to direct them to?
Yeah. So Mvskoke Art Market is our Facebook page, Mvskoke. All
right. And is there anything about the art market or the Arts Council that we haven't talked about that you guys think is important to mention?
I think we hit just about on everything. Just come out and support the art market in April. We are trying to work on some programming for maybe that Saturday night, not the 1491s, but a comedy group to come out, just to have different aspects of entertainment.
Oh, would it be the Aunties? Are you guys looking
Nope,
at
that would be, we have our own Mvskoke aunties, we could do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, guys, for joining me today. The Arts Council and the market sounds like everything's going great.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
I hope that grant pans out, because I think that would be a huge, impactful thing for the arts community here, no doubt.
Yes,
And, oh, we had a question pop up.
Okay.
Is there an opportunity for Arts Council help with traveling exhibits or create connections to have artists come to other cities?
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of the initiative for the Arts Council, is to build these relationships with other entities and organizations, tribal and non-tribals, just so that we can get our artists out there and exhibits out there.
Awesome. And I will tell, let's see, it's Carmen Halagahu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name there, but there's going to be a link in the description of this video after we're done that's for an artist survey that's going to ask you what you would need, what you would like to see from the Arts Council too. So do the survey. Just keep an eye on the video after we're done here, and you can click the link and do the survey, and everything will work out. But with that being said, thanks so much for coming on today, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Jared. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And for you guys watching this program, we have another live wire on Thursday with Oklahoma Community Watch. You probably see him in the chat all the time. He has an update about a case with some Leonard Peltier protests that happened, I think, last year. It might have been 2 years by now. And then we have another live wire on Friday with Dr. Kirsten Kunkel. She's going to update us on some of her artistic endeavors that are coming to fruition really soon. So with that being said, Mado to everybody, and we'll see you next time.